And really take time to bring some awareness to your process of sitting down. All right. So I'm just kind of rocking a little bit left and right just to kind of get a sense of my sit bones. So see if you can get a sense of the front part of your sit bones as you come into your seat. And then rocking a little bit forward and backward to kind of feel center, what feels like center for you. Get a sense of the muscles that are contracting and expanding in your legs as you rock forward and backward. Because that's really the heart of yoga here, is contraction and expansion of opposing muscle groups. All right, and then let's see if we can. Oftentimes when we are asked to sit up, we overextend our low back. So let's be really cautious about that and draw our tailbone down. Draw our tailbone down. It's almost like rounding your low back, but we're just kind of tucking our tailbone down a little bit and lengthening up from the shoulders and the neck. So a little slight tuck of the chin, ears over the shoulders. Just take a moment to notice if there's anything shifted in your body after having made those adjustments. All right, the sternum coming forward and up. There's nothing to do or accomplish in this class. There's nothing to do or accomplish. There's not a state of mind to try to acquire while we're doing this. We're not trying to change our state of mind. Okay, so let's come on to our hands and knees. Find your hands and knees, rocking a little bit here, forward and backward. And see if you can have the elbows begin to straighten. So straight elbows, maybe even internally rotating your shoulders. Right? There's this motion here. Check that out. See how that affects your elbows, just internally rotating your shoulders, how that may affect your shoulder, your elbows. So locking the elbows as we rock forward and backward. Notice also your wrists, the limitations in the wrists. Okay, let's extend the left leg out and the right arm forward, reaching in opposite directions. Okay, bending the elbow, the left knee, bring them together and round the back a little bit and then stretch them back out. Exhale the elbow to knee, inhale them apart. Okay, let's pause for a moment. Back to hands and knees. Extending the left arm and the right leg out. Reach back with your right leg. Reach forward with your left arm. Bend the elbow at the knee. Exhale. Inhale apart. Exhale together and inhale apart. Okay, and palm and knee back down. Curl the toes and lift the knees, walking the feet in place to open the calf muscles. Rock the hips. Use the sensations you feel in your back and legs to guide you. Okay, let's draw the head down a little bit more. Straighten the elbows. Draw the heels down. Lifting the navel up and in your rib cage. Okay, let's step the left foot forward. Lower the right knee. Strong through the elbow, continuing to keep the elbows straight if possible. And if you need some bricks or blocks to put under your hands for some lift, please, by all means, do so. Explore around, get a sense of what you're feeling, especially in your left hip. If there's pinching or pain, maybe moving around. I'm noticing some pinching in my left hip, doesn't feel quite right. So trying to find that, creating space. Sometimes it changes and sometimes not. We're just kind of moving around, see what's maybe something out of alignment or something. Just kind of check in with yourself frequently as we move into these yoga asanas. Okay, let's step the left foot back, downward dog. And shake out the head, shake the legs a little bit. Firmly plant the heels of the hands down and lock the elbows. Keep strong through the shoulders. Okay, right foot forward. Make sure you can see your toes. You should be able to see your toes here. And here too. Check the hips, how it feels. If there's pinching, maybe want to move around a little bit more. If it feels spacious, like you're feeling a stretch in the muscles, maybe you want to just stay put. Oftentimes, one hip is tighter, stiffer, less flexible than the other hip. So we just want to be sensitive to that. One side might be more tight than the other side. Okay, let's step the right foot back, downward dog. See if you can settle into your body through downward dog. Okay, let's walk the feet to the hands. Lift the head up halfway, bringing the hands to the shins or the knees. See if you can create a little space in your back. If you need to bend your knees here for your low back, that's fine. If you're not sure, bend your knees and check it out. See how it feels. And then straighten your knees. See how that feels. And then you can make a decision how you want to do it. Consider drawing the head away from the shoulders and flattening the back. Okay, let's come to standing. Without moving too much here, come to standing. Drawing the palms a little bit away from the body, resting the shoulders down. We're preparing, bringing our awareness into our body, settling into our body as we begin to prepare for our first sun salutation. Okay, so step to the head of your mat. Let's lift the arms up, straight up overhead. Lock the thumbs. Reach up out of your core. Press onto the insides of your feet, slightly lifting up the outside corners of your feet. Hold straight up. Remember to breathe. Hold and continue to lengthen upwards. Okay, let's release the arms out to the sides. Fold from the hips with a flat back. Straightening the legs to feel that pulling in the hamstrings. If you need to bend your knees, feel free to do that too. Let's lower the hands all the way to the mat or maybe to your shins. Take hold of your shins or ankles and tuck the chin, lower that, draw the forehead towards the knees. Okay, release the hands down to the mat, step the left foot back. Perhaps keeping the left knee raised this time. Remember to keep the elbows locked here and the shoulders strong. See what that does to your back. Listen to your body. Your body is your best teacher. And step the right foot back. Press into the heels of the hands as you draw the right foot back to downward dog. Lower the head and raise the tailbone. Okay, lower the knees all the way down. Now, bending the elbows, straighten the legs, and come forward. Tuck the elbows in and lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Lightly pressing into the hands. Curl the toes and lift up and back. Stepping the left foot forward. Keeping the right knee raised. Check the neck and shoulders for any holding that may not be necessary. Check the muscles of the neck and shoulders for any holding patterns that you might notice there that may not be necessary here. Okay, step the right foot forward. Knees bent or straight. Take hold of the backs of the legs, draw the head into the knees. And slowly begin to lift the head halfway. Find your back, draw the shoulders back and down, away from the ears, lengthen the back, and come to stand. Continue to raise arms up overhead. Just interlace the hands here. And press straight up with the backs of the hands pressing straight up towards the ceiling. Hold here. Try not to put any pressure on the lumbar region of the spine. Continuing to press the tailbone down as the arms come up. Stretching out of your core. And release the hands down to the sides. See? Palms turned out a little bit. Take some breaths here. Okay, let's do a second sun salutation. Okay. Reach the arms up overhead and fold forward. Moving a little faster here. Step the right foot back. Then the left foot back. Downward dog. Lower the knees, bend the elbows, and then straighten the legs. Peel up the front side. Downward dog. Right foot forward. Left foot forward. Straightening the legs maybe. Draw the chin, draw the forehead to the knees. Lift up the head all the way. Sweep the arms overhead. Interlace the hands. Turn the palms up now, straight up. Pressing the palms up towards the ceiling. So the backs of the hands are pointing down. The palms are pointing up. Internally rotate your legs. Internally rotate from the thighs. See how that feels, if anything changes there. We're broadening the back of the pelvis a little bit and internally rotating the thighs. And release the hands back to the sides. Okay, let the shoulders rest here. Let the body rest. Bring your mind to a mountain, huge, sense of enormousness. So this mountain poses a sense of stability. If you can remember or think about a huge mountain, just bring that into your mind. Think about nothing else. Okay, number 3. Okay, stepping to the front of the mat, arms sweeping overhead. Internally rotate the thighs and fold forward. Grab the backs of the legs, draw the head in. Left foot comes back. Right foot back. Lower the knees. Elbows bent, straighten the legs. Peel up to cobra. Downward dog. And left foot forward. Right foot forward. Halfway lift. All the way up. Arms sweeping overhead. And palms back down. All right, this next one, you have the option to, instead of stepping the feet back, to jump the feet back. I'll show you what that looks like. So sweep the arms up, fold forward, plant the hands down, bend the knees. And again, you may want to use some bricks or blocks here on either side of your feet to elevate your hands. Bend the knees, straighten keeping the elbows straight, just hopping the feet to the back of the mat, downward dog. All right, let's try that hopping forward. All right, just hopping forward, hopping back. If that doesn't work for you, just step your feet back. Okay, and step your feet forward. All right, let's come up to standing. We'll try that with a whole sun salutation. Okay, ready? Sweep the arms up and fold forward. Bend the knees, place the palms down, or not even, you don't even have to place the palms down. Keeping the elbows straight, hop back or step back. Let's shift forward to plank. Lower the hips down now for upward dog. And roll over your toes so that you're on the tops of your feet. Should be no pain in the lumbar region of your back. Maybe lifting the chin a little bit. Okay, and then roll, and lifting up. Here we're lifting up our tailbone and rolling over our toes for downward dog. Shake out the head if you need to. Shake the shoulders a little bit. Okay, and then we'll bend the knees and either step or jump forward. Right, we can just kind of bending and straightening the legs just to see how that feels. And then when you're ready, jump forward if you haven't already. Okay, forward fold. Lift the arms and back to mountain. Okay, so getting the heart rate up a little bit, getting the blood flowing in the body a little bit. Let's come into a solid posture, mountain tadasana, slight bend in the knees. So really an imperceivable bend in the knees. Bring that image of a mountain to mind. Okay, let's try that again. Sweeping the arms up, Fold forward. Bend the knees and hop or step back. Okay, now we're going to play around here a little bit between downward dog and upward dog. Okay, so when you're ready, it's kind of this motion here between downward dog and plank. Right, just kind of playing, exploring this motion, exploring the motion between downward dog and plank. Just see how that feels to go back and forth between the two. Explore having elbows straight. Engage your core here. This is a big core engagement. You can stay in plank or you can go back to downward dog at any time. Stay as long as you wish in either of these forms. In plank, I notice it's helpful to really squeeze the shoulders together. This does take some shoulder strength here, as well as core strength. Okay, let's roll over the toes, come into an upward dog. It's kind of squeezing the core muscles. Okay, and then again, lift the tailbone up, core strong, roll over the toes. Downward dog. Okay, when you're ready, bend the knees and either walk or jump forward. Halfway lift, all the way up. Arms overhead and back to the sides. Let's do one more of those. Okay, ready? Sweep the arms up. Inhale. On the exhale, fold forward. Okay, bend the knees. On the next inhale, jump back or step back. Exhale to plank. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Bend the knees, step or jump forward. Inhale. And lift all the way up. And exhale the hands back to the sides. All right, great. Okay, we're going to add in here the sun salutation, a warrior pose. So let's just practice warrior for a moment. Step the right foot forward, bending the right knee, drawing the left hip forward. Feel your pelvis, feel your hips. Feel that stretch in the left hip there. As you attempt to draw your left hip forward, you may feel some pulling in that muscle, the left hip. Okay, draw that tailbone down, tailbone coming down, the front of the pelvis coming up. Okay, feel that. Warrior is really that. It's raising the energy to fight. It sounds like a strange thing maybe. These meditative practices engaging you for warfare. The warfare is the warfare that we have with our own egos. Let's release the hands up overhead for warrior one. Right, preparing to go into battle. What does the energy of fighting feel like to you in your body? And that's what we want to just kind of allow to surface, allow that energy of the warrior, someone who's fearless in the face of death. That's really what it's about, being fearless in the face of death, being ready to enter the possibility of dying. What does that feel like for you in your body? What does courage feel like? Okay, let's bring the hands down to the front of the mat and step the right foot back. Downward dog. Just use downward dog here as an opportunity to rest momentarily. Internally rotate the thighs. Okay, when you're ready, swing the left leg up high, bend the knee, and sweep it forward to the front of your mat. Drop the right heel down. Disengage your shoulders and lift the back up. Let's bring the hands to the hips and work on the right hip now a little bit. So very gently, right, you can kind of rock your hip forward and backward here, get a sense of the tightness or stiffness that might still be there. Just working with it. You can also straighten and bend your left knee. Get a sense of the hips here. Okay, when you're ready, release the hands up. Breathe. Okay, and bring the hands back to the front of the mat. Step the left foot back. Downward dog. And shift forward to plank. And roll over the feet for upward dog. Back to downward dog. And bend the knees, hop or step forward to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway, all the way, sweep the arms up. And back down. All right, let's try to put this together with these warrior one. Okay. Sweep the arms overhead, inhale, exhale, and fold forward. Bend the knees. When you're ready, jump or step back. Downward dog. Inhale to plank. Okay. Roll over your toes and make your way to upward dog. Back to downward dog. Shake out the head a little bit. Now let's step the right foot forward to the front. Drop the back heel. Disengage the muscles of your arms. Let them be limp. Lift the back up. Sweep the arms overhead. Warrior one. Draw the tailbone down. Hold here. Okay, release the hands back down. Let the arms be limp for a moment. Just drop the hands down at the front of the mat. Lower the left hip. Right hip comes up. Press into the hands now. Shoulders strong, elbows straight as you step the right foot back. Come into plank. And then upward dog. Downward dog. And let's try the other side. Let the left foot come forward. Drop the right heel down. Let the arms go limp as you lift the head and back up. Sweep the arms overhead. Hold. Find space in your shoulders, in your back, in your hips. Adjust your left knee as needed. All right, let's bring the arms back to the front of the mat. Lower the right hip down, left hip comes up, step the left foot back. Downward dog. into plank, and then right into upward dog. Back to downward dog. Bend the knees and hop or step forward. Halfway lift and then all the way up. Arms overhead and back to the sides. Come in the mountain. Take as much breath, take as much time as you need here. Settle down into your body. Not in a rigid way, but in a like coming home. Okay, let's come into the top of the mat. And this time we're going to do pigeon. We'll try some pigeon in this sun salutation. We're going to include pigeon. Pigeon is a wonderful hip opener, so let's do it. So reach the arms overhead and fold forward. Bend the knees and hop, step, or jump back. And let's shift forward. And this time, with the elbows straight, core strong, I'm going to bend the elbows, lower down about all the way. Upward dog, back to downward dog. Let's lift the right leg up high, bend the knee, and sweep the knee forward for pigeon. Okay, uncurling the back toes. And find the space there in your right hip. So we can rock a little bit left and right. We can rock a little bit forward and backward, just with the, moving the hips, the tailbone, creating space, really working those muscles in and around the tops of the legs. If you'd like, you can come down onto your elbows. Maybe give your wrists a little stretch, especially after doing those downward and upward dogs. Turning your hands around your wrists can be helpful just to stretch them out a little bit. Your head can come all the way down to the floor if you'd like. All right, great. When you're ready, come on back up. Hands on the mat. Let's curl the back toes, step the right foot back. Okay, lift the left leg up now. Let's try the other side. Bend the knee and sweep it forward. Being real gentle with the hips here. Uncurl the back toes. Let the muscles in your body guide you in the movement. Right, so I'm like drawing the right side of my body, the right side of my body forward a little bit. I'm noticing it creates space in my hips where there wasn't any. Right, so I'm just exploring. I'm just saying that to encourage you to explore movement here in this pose, so that we're not feeling like stuck. We're not doing the pose for the sake of the pose, but to wake ourselves up to the reality of our physical body. Okay, and then if you want to come down onto your elbows, explore that. Maybe bringing your head all the way down as well. Another thing to explore in pigeon is bringing the left buttocks to the mat. So you're kind of rolling to your left side a little bit. See how that might feel. Okay, and then when you're ready, let's make our way back to downward dog in your own time. Making our way, we'll meet in downward dog. Okay, one more jump or hop forward. When you're ready, bend the knees, look forward, and hop, lifting the head halfway and then all the way. Reach the arms up overhead and hands back to the sides. Come in the mountain. Take a moment to feel that solidity, stability. Imagine a mountain. Bring your attention into a mountain. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and have a seat on your mat. Let's bring one leg out to the side. So if I were to mirror you, my right knee is out to my right, my left leg coming out to the left side. Using my hands to lift my back up. You might feel some opening there in your hips. You can adjust your sit bones, lift them up and down, get a sense of how this feels. We want to find some space, some opening here. If you have a strap, you can hook it around the ball of your left foot, or if you can reach your toe, your big toe, you could use that toe. Now let's consider continuing to lengthen the back up, maybe reaching the other arm up over the head, turning the sternum up towards the ceiling, rotating the whole of the torso. Okay, and making your way back up. A little adjustment here. Let's bend that left knee. And let's try the other side. Keeping in mind, it's not really important how close your head is to your leg. That's really arbitrary. It's up to you. It might be enough just to stay upright. Like I can feel right now, I feel a stretch in this part of my leg. And that's kind of what we're isolating, these muscles around the tops of the legs. My right toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. All right, so you can explore this. If you don't want to bend forward, that's fine. You may not need to. And if you do decide to bend forward, you could also bend your knee here. It doesn't have to be flat. So catch your foot with a towel, a strap, or your hand. And let your body guide you. The space between your torso here and your leg is really up to you. The reason for these hip openers is really to help prepare us for meditation. Prepare the body for meditation. Let's come on back. Bend that knee. Crisscross the legs for a moment. Rest. Let's try Janu Sirshasana, the head to knee pose. So this one, stretch the left leg forward. The right foot comes onto the inside. Use your arms, use your hands behind your back to help you to sit upright. Find a comfortable seat. Toes are pointing up. And we're folding forward from the hips rather than from the back. Again, here too, you could use a strap, or if you can reach them, take hold of your toes. Take hold of the ball of your foot, your toes, wherever you can reach. Keeping our back somewhat flat and folding over the leg. Now, once you've started to fold over your leg, feel free to round your back. Now feel the energy from the bottom of the foot through the crown of the head. And one way to do that is to tuck the chin. See if you can feel an evenness through the body so that some parts are not more stretching than other parts, if that makes sense. You're not overstretching one side or one part of your body at the expense of another side. Okay, when you're ready, come on back up. And let's switch the legs out. Let's try the other side. Just your legs, just the hips, just the sit bones. Okay, when you're ready, begin to fold forward from the hips. You don't even have to grab your toes if you don't want to. Just folding forward might be enough. And feel free to bend, put a bend in your straight leg if you need to, in the knee of your straight leg. Okay, when you're ready, and reach forward, use a strap or a towel or your hands. Drawing the head to knee, Janu, the knee, Sirshasana, the head to knee. And don't worry if your head doesn't touch your knee or anything like that. We're just going in that direction. Careful not to stretch your low back. We want to feel this stretch mainly, predominantly in the hamstring. And I would say secondarily in the upper back. All right, and then come back up to seated. Let's make our way onto our back. Just having the knees lifted, hands underneath the head, elbows outstretched. lift the feet up with the knees bent, and let's revolve the abdomen so the knees come over to one side and the head goes over to the other side. Okay, and then changing the direction of the knees, knees come back up, and then revolve over to the opposite side. Head goes to the other side as well. Knees are pointing one direction, head is pointing the opposite direction. This is the revolved abdominal pose. Just kind of try to ensure that both shoulders stay planted firmly on the ground. Okay, and then when you're ready, come back up. Let's stretch out the legs. Let the hands or arms come to your side. Adjust your legs, adjust your back, your neck, your head, your arms. Let's just kind of wiggle the legs a little bit, wiggle the arms, and take a deep breath in. Hold the breath in. Squeeze the legs and the arms, lift the head, the arms and the legs together, squeeze tighter, and release. Consciously coming to soften all the muscles in the body. Feelings of sleep may come over you. Allow them to be there. Go into them. This can become a restoration of your energy. All right, making our way to one side, and when you're ready, coming to seated, or you may wish to stay a little bit longer on your back. It's up to you. In either case, you may wish to rest longer beyond the scope of this class, or even to sit. Come in, this yoga hatha helps to prepare the body for meditation. So if you have 5 or 10 minutes extra to spare here, I would really encourage you to continue sitting beyond the scope of this class. We'll just take a few seconds here to come to a seated posture if you'd like, kind of transitioning from laying down to sitting up. And closing our class with a dedication. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light.